Hello, everyone, and welcome to the second edition of CRFC Untaped. You might think we haven't seen a first edition. What's going on? Yeah, we had a bit of a pilot run, and we got some okay feedback, so we thought we'd have another go at it and tidy a few things up. So, yeah, the three of us. So I suppose we should just introduce ourselves. Ryan, if you wanna lead off.
Yes, well, my name's Ryan Clark. I'm the media officer at Carrick Rangers, so I work alongside Richard and Mark, really just producing the media content that you see on our social media. Been doing that I've been in the media team for about 5 years or so now, and I've been a lifelong fan aside from that, so that's me.
Cool, Mark, go for it.
Yeah, I'm Mark. I'm also on the media team doing mostly video. I've been at Carrick for a year exactly today, and
Yeah,
I wasn't live. Yeah, today was the first day at one point.
Ooh,
So,
happy anniversary.
yeah, first birthday of Uncut. I'm basically the person who's walking around carrying the tripod like it's an umbrella all the way around the ground at match day. So, take a look for the guy with the tripod.
No, that's good. It's definitely been a good year of Uncut.
Mm-hmm.
I suppose we could mention that it's appeared on a few other social media channels lately as well. So been
Yeah,
inspiration for some other ideas.
that's
I
inspirational
suppose
indeed.
it was just about me. I'm Richard. Usually with a camera, sort of 6'5" guy plunked on a wee stool pitch side, and sometimes with a bib on.
I am
So,
confused how you sit in that thing because it does look like it couldn't
yeah,
support
Right, yeah.
anything.
it's I think the guy at Dundela in pre-season like looked at me and was like, he made some silly comment like, "Are you actually going to sit on that?" And I was like, "Oh, I won't actually cross the wall if I'm not allowed." He goes, "No, I don't mean that. I just mean how do you fit on that? Because you're so tall." Yeah, so that's me. Most Saturdays, and then some of the other graphics that you will see on social media, be behind those too. So,
Mhm.
yeah, I suppose how it's been a week since we did the last one. We've played it. There's been a game. We've seen how the lads got on. But how are you? How are the lads? How do you? How are things?
Uh,
Very well.
Grand, yeah. Not a lot
Not a
going
lot
on.
to not a lot to say. We're in a lockdown world at the minute where I suppose for me anyway, I'm kind of living Saturday to Saturday almost just for the football. Besides that, and seeing my girlfriend a few times a week, I don't really have a lot else to talk
Yeah,
about.
for the love of the game.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then Saturday was the first home league game of the season. It was quite good to see some fans in it in Taylor's Avenue or the Luxor Hotel Arena. It was good atmosphere there. What do you reckon? We lost 2-1. General performance. What do you reckon? How do you reckon we did?
I thought overall it was very good. I think there was nothing that really stood out to be like a negative. I think we did most things right, and just suppose unlucky in the end really that we couldn't get a point at least. So pretty solid performance, I think.
Yeah, I would agree. I think we seen the card side that we were used to seeing so much last season. The work rate, the never giving up, the pressing, especially being back at home. I think it suited us on our pitch. So it was a result in the end that probably we were a wee bit disappointed with because of the performance. But when you're playing a team like Larne, you have to expect that sometimes that you might not get from the game what you put in.
Yeah, I think if we're going to focus on an area, I think we've sort of jotted down one specific part of the pitch. The midfield three. I I know Mark, you mentioned earlier in the week when we were chatting about Lloyd Anderson, and the man just runs and runs and runs, and I know the other two did as well,
Yeah,
but everywhere you looked, he was there.
yeah. I think it's kind of he does the defensive running and the kind of the offensive running. He always track back and he was chasing Sule over the pitch, and he never really he did that the whole 90 minutes really, like bombing up and back. So just really consistent work ethic, I suppose, which was good to see.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we became used to that with Lloyd. It's scary, you know. You think about that marathon that Mo Farah ran down in Larne a month or two ago. I think had Lloyd probably entered into that, he probably would have beat him, to be honest. He's that fit. It's scary. But aside from, you know, the running and the fitness, he does bring in creativity in midfield as well. Which was seen. He obviously, you know, won the penalty as well. Our penalty, not the other one. So yeah, he's a great player for us. Great asset.
Would you say we've got a clone in the form of Yaya? I mean, they've some very similar sort of characteristics on the pitch. We've almost got two Lloyds.
Yeah, slightly taller one.
Yeah.
Slightly taller, slightly darker hair, slightly.
The two of them, though, I mean, it was just incredible because especially in a midfield going against, as you said, Soulé and Jeff Hughes, and then Randall come on, and you think there's some quality players in there, boys that have played professional football for what? I know Randall was at Arsenal. I know, was he you aware of him when you were growing up, Mark? Were you going Mark Randall? And didn't expect to see him then.
I don't think so.
He did make an appearance, didn't I? I think he made like a solo appearance for Arsenal in Europa League or something like that.
Yeah, no, he sort of saw him on. He was probably in those sticker books, you know, and I'm sure he had a squad number. So he was in there, yeah, and Jeff Hughes, and obviously for years been over in England. So I mean, for our midfield three, I just thought their work rate was incredible. The one we haven't mentioned is Dan Kelly, who made his 200th appearance for the club on Saturday, and I thought again he was impressive.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, Ryan. I was here and see every
Daniel's. He gives you something that you maybe don't notice a lot. He's physical. I think in recent seasons his leadership has really improved. You can see he's more vocal on the pitch. He's aggressive. I remember at one point in the second half, I think one of the Larne players got past Reece Neal maybe a wee bit too easy. I think Dan came and absolutely
nearly like
put him in the back Larne, whatever player it was, and picked up a booking. So that sums up Dan's mentality at times. That he's a card player and that he represents what we're about, which is just hard work and giving it your all and laying all out in the pitch.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just checking to see when did he made his debut in 2013 for the club, is that right?
Yeah, 2012, I think. 2012, 2013.
Yeah.
It was the year after we were relegated from the Premiership, so it would have been 2012, I think.
Yeah, and then other than the season at Glentoran, he's been there ever since. 38 goals in 7 seasons, now 200 appearances. So I mean, yeah, he's really. What would he have been then? Probably in his late teens when he started, and he's really grown.
I think he came to us at 19. Obviously he was a teenager. He was skinny. He was a bit unknown. In his early days, he had so many different positions. He was a centre half. He was a midfielder. He was a striker. I think at one point he maybe even played out wide, if I'm not wrong, in his very early days. So it's great to see his progression over the years. One of the senior players in the team, who's now nailed down his place as the defensive midfielder. He's such a vital player. Anytime I've spoke to any Niall or any of the coaching team about him, he's that one player that you can't really replace when he's out of the team because it's so important to us. So it's great to see, and he's signed there in the summer for another 3-4 years, I think. So I would expect Daniel to be here for a good while to come still.
Yeah, I remember whenever because he signed, I think, an initial 2-year contract during last season. I remember Niall saying to him on the day it happened, we're building something here, project, and he's very much been part of that for a number of years now. So it's for sure he's been really good for us. I suppose the last thing to cover in terms of Saturday's game, we haven't talked about it, the elephant in the room, the penalty. Who wants to go first?
Which penalty are we talking about?
Not the one we won.
No, not the one we want to talk about. So yeah, I think it was 43rd, 44th minute in a fairly uneventful first half. David McDade with the ball, kind of going out of the box with Chris Rogers just behind him, and look, I'll say very biasedly that a perfectly good challenge went in and a player went down and the penalty was given. And I at the time couldn't believe it. I'm sure you are probably the same. I think you can always, you have to understand that we are biased. I am biased. So the right ways to kind of gauge it is looking at other factors that can maybe tell you, do you think it was a penalty? Do you not? I think if you look at the replay on Uncut, which you can watch on our social media channels, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, scenes. There was no real immediate reaction from any of the other Larne players appealing for a penalty. And as well as that, I think a lot of neutral Irish League fans on Twitter, on Facebook and whatnot have called it to not be a penalty. So I think that's a fair way to probably make a claim on from us that it wasn't a penalty.
Yeah, I just say I think it was the fact that they were kind of at the time like standing still, like they weren't like David McDade wasn't running out of the box, and like Chris Rogers wasn't like chasing after them. They were kind of just standing there, and I think the contact really didn't warrant the reaction that came. I think that was kind of the most, surprising thing. Like, I think the reaction was quite exaggerated, and especially with the contact. And one thing that we will say is the first couple of times I've seen it, it looked like Chrissy, he got the ball, but it's hard to tell exactly. But some replays, it looks like he's almost kicked David's foot into the ball. But I mean, still, I don't think that type of force of challenge really warranted that kind of reaction. So a bit harsh, I think.
I think the man behind you, Ryan, probably was a bit gutted with it too.
The man behind me, everyone must be wondering who's behind me. I've actually got with me this week first team coach John McAllister, because as we were loading this up, used to had very lovely backgrounds of our great stadium, Gloucester Hotel Arena, and I mean, I was going to put one of those on, but I came across this picture of John Mack. It's actually my lock screen on my phone and my laptop, and it's on my bedroom wall and whatnot as well. So I just thought I may as well put that on.
It's just the right thing. It's the right thing to do.
Yeah, no. The great man himself.
Man. Yeah, he didn't want to talk about the penalty on Saturday. I think he went home for a few bottles of wine. Or John Mack, so he did. I don't think he would usually stay and talk to us after the game, but he was just like, fellas, no, I'm going home. I'm not talking about it.
I know. That's fair enough. Cheers, lads. So those are our views then on the game on Saturday. Let's go and hear what Niall Curry had to say, the gaffer.
I thought they were superb. I thought the boys were absolutely outstanding from start to finish. We didn't get, in my opinion anyway, we didn't get what we deserved. Whenever you're playing against a full-time team and they've got real quality, and I thought today we to a man matched them, and again we'll come away feeling a wee bit hard done by. Listen, I know that Aaron Hogg had a couple of great saves, we had a couple of great chances ourselves, and but the big positive, I suppose, is the fact that we were like that my Carrick team has been for 2 years now, and we were back to what grinding and that closing down and the pressing, and we breathed all over them all day, and I think it's testament. I'm quite sure Tiernan will be pretty relieved to get out of here with the 3 points, and I can ask no more of my players. We're extremely disappointed in the first half penalty, but again, something we're well used to.
The major talking point of the game you have alluded to was the penalty that got Larne in the lead. What's your views on the penalty?
Listen, I'm always easy about putting my hands up if I'm wrong. From where I'm standing, the ball actually goes 2 or 3 yards ahead. I'll have a look at it before I actually say what I want to say. But all I'll say is I thought it was, if anything, extremely harsh and extremely disappointing. At this present moment, from my point of view, it wasn't a penalty, but obviously I'll have to watch it a couple of times. And again, we're in a situation where, from what I can gather, my players tell me that the linesman said no penalty, and Evan ignored him and done his own thing. Whereas last week we lost a player who the referee was given the yellow card to, and the linesman got involved, and we ended up losing him with the red card. So we just want some consistency. That's what the linesmen are there for.
The score read 2-1. That doesn't tell the full story of the game. The style of Larne is very well known. They like to get the ball down, but your team forced them to go quite direct today.
Yep.
And that would have been part of the game plan. How proud of you the players were able to execute that, like you said, against a full-time team with the resources that they do have?
Well, we worked on technical stuff, and our players were really well drilled, but we felt we needed to work on Tuesday night and Thursday night. We only have an hour and a half on a Tuesday and an hour and a half on a Thursday, so we had to put away 30 minutes each night. It's hard to believe, but 30 minutes each night on working on the press and working in the pistons, and we were superb today. Really disappointed with the second goal we conceded. For us, and we defended so well as a unit, and but yes, I think we forced Larne long, and we ended up bringing them into our territory. And I think we're extremely unlucky not to come away with something from the game.
Now all your attention is trying to do what must be another tough, difficult game against Cliftonville. How do you pick your players up for this, and how do you prepare for that game?
Oh, I don't need to pick them guys up. I praised them through the roof there. I told them the performance was outstanding today. And as I say, that's the Carrick team that we remember from such a seems a long time ago. But that's exactly what we want. And I don't think anybody relish coming to our ground whenever we're like that. So from our point of view, we'll not have to lift nothing. I'm over the moon with the boys. I thought they were superb today, to a man. And we'll just go again. We'll brush it off. We're disappointed we didn't get something out of the game, but we'll brush it off and go again. That's what we've done all last season, and we'll do it again.
Thanks very much, Dan.
Okay, boys.
Just on the podcast, then, something that we launched yesterday. So this is Tuesday night. So yeah, something that went out yesterday, just I suppose to keep people up to date and informed, was the newsletter. So I think there's a link on the social media pages to sign up to the newsletter. So I think in 24 hours there's over 50 have signed up. So that's going to be one way over the next couple of weeks and months to keep fans informed. And certainly if we do get a run of podcasts, if there's more than two, there'll be links to them there. So that's something to have a look on the Facebook and Twitter. Larne's done. Up next, an away trip to Solitude, Cliftonville on Saturday. What do we reckon?
I watched their game against Crusaders on Friday night. I think I watched all of it, and I suppose in fairness, it wasn't maybe the most chance-filled game for both teams, so it was kind of hard to tell what kind of form they're coming with or whatever. And I suppose we're only 2 games into the season as well, so. But I suppose they've always been a strong side, so you always expect a challenge in some form.
Yeah, they're definitely, for us in recent years as well, Solitude's one of the most difficult grounds, in my opinion, in the league to go to. I can't, in the time that I've been supporting Carrick, I can't remember us winning at Solitude. Obviously, back in January, Lloyd Anderson goal was, I think, the first time we beat Cliftonville in 25 years. So they're always a really tough team for us to play against. Solitude's a really tough place to go, and they'll probably be looking to bounce back straight away after the loss on Friday night. So I think we'll have to put in the same sort of performance that we did against Larne if we want to come away with a result.
I suppose it was just check. Ryan, 25 years, were you at that game that day?
I was not even born, Richard, 25 years ago. Ryan Clark did not even exist on this earth.
That's crazy memory.
Yeah.
How you know that?
I know. I was looking up I was looking up stats earlier just because I was just thinking, because I have been following Carrick all my life. I'm 20 years old, and my memory of supporting Carrick can probably go back a good 12 years or so, and I can remember lots of ups and downs, and all the teams we've beaten have beaten us, but I've never seen us win at Solitude. So Saturday could be the first.
Yeah, we hope so. I think the closest would have been the League Cup 2 years ago against Cliftonville at Solitude with Niall as manager, and that was just as we started to play that sort of style of play that we sort of know now to see every week, that we've become accustomed to, the 3-5-2 or 5-3-2, depending on how you. And we lost 3-2, I think. I think maybe Lloyd scored that night as well.
Yeah, that was his first goal for the club that night.
He's done it again. I just remember that.
Yeah. I don't know. I've nothing else to do in my life.
I think Cliftonville did a good first day win against Glentoran. I think that I saw that. I watched a bit of that game last week too, Mark, and the goal they conceded was pretty. It just came from nowhere.
Oh yeah, the goal line scramble.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think just we checked the stats earlier, and I've beat Ryan to this. One milestone this weekend after Dan Kelly's 200th appearance last weekend is our good friend Mickey Smith. If he starts, if he gets on, we'll make his 100th appearance for the club. Probably cover that down the line. You know, we can't talk about him now in case it doesn't happen, but yeah, it's been good to see him. I thought he was good on Saturday, when he started the game.
He's an interesting one. He came to us under David Madwinden more as a left-sided player. You know, most of his career, you know, we all know about Mickey that he has no right foot. He's all left-sided. He'll swivel and turn and do all sorts of tricks with that left foot, but you'll never see him use the right one. And he came to us, I think, as a left midfielder. And there was just one game, I can't remember when it was, probably towards the end of the season, where we just stuck him up front, and we realised that he can hold the ball up well, he has a turn of pace, he's got a wee bit of trickery, he can score goals. And ever since then, you know, he's been banging them in. That championship season 2 years ago, I think he was our top scorer of 20 odd goals. I think he has a return of something like 25 goals from 99 games, which, you know, is a good feat. It's a good innings. So he has been an important player for us in recent years.
Just especially when you consider that in his time at the club, we've had this would be the third season, wouldn't it, in the Premiership. You wouldn't say that we've been up near the top, banging in goals all season. So I think that's a good point you make. You know, he is consistent. He scores goals for us. So yeah, no, that's good. I think the last part, just about on Saturday, I know we've talked about it in the newsletter that you can win a black kit, but we're going to see what the Avec gear looks like, the away kit for the first time. I know Mark and I got a close up doing the kit launch and the photos, but we're going to see the all 10 lads, 10 outfield players with it on Saturday. And Hoggy will have on, don't know, maybe the lime green keeper kit.
We lime green. You can, of course, order any Card Rangers gear that may take your fancy on the CRFC shop.co.uk for delivery or click and collect at the shop if you like. Just a wee Christmas teaser. Just have to throw it in.
That's fantastic. Are you getting commission?
No, I hope not. I'm just doing a wee bit of advertising from the local club.
Very good. So yeah, who knows when we will be back? I don't think there's anything else, lads. Anything else you wanna add in there?
No, I don't think so.
I think that's everything.
Yeah. So, we'll see how we go on Saturday. I hope the lads can bring home 3 points. And yeah, we'll be back at some stage sometime soon. So from Mark, from me, from Ryan, and
from John Matt as well. John Matt Davis.
Yeah. I hope to have him in person. So if he does listen to this, if he takes the time to get this podcast,
I say he will. First of all, he will be listening to this because he has nothing better to do. He's a teacher. He's not teaching right now, so he better be. And certainly, if he wants his beautiful face back on this podcast, then he has an invite to the next show to come and talk to us about his life.
That's good.
Well,
his life story.
I think we'll leave it there.
Yeah.
Cheers, lads.
See ya.
Cheers. See you later.